Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright, y'all, you guys know what time it is. Boruto episode 217 preview. This episode right here is going to have a very difficult time following up what people think is probably a top 3 episode in Boruto episode 216. This episode right here has to be an elite episode. It just has to be. And I think from the preview, because I've seen it one time already, it definitely has the potential to do that. Now, one thing that I definitely do want to talk about has to be Boruto's Baryon mode, just in form, just because of the first thing that we see on the screen right here. I knew it was going to look better than what they displayed at first, but I didn't think it was going to look this good. My personal opinion, bro, Naruto just looks absolutely amazing, man. He just looks absolutely amazing. I gotta give a huge shout out to the writers for this. Kodachi, Kishimoto, all the people who actually originally designed this at the beginning of the Boruto manga. They knocked this completely out of the park. I'm super happy that they did this. Now, not only that, this episode right here is going to have the biggest fight, the big one. Naruto and Sasuke, or not even Naruto and Sasuke, excuse me. Baryon mode Naruto versus Isshiki Otsutsuki, and I think it's going to be a very clear difference from this episode and the last episode between Isshiki Otsutsuki's demeanor. One thing that we could pretty much take away from the last episode is that Isshiki Otsutsuki wasn't necessarily 100% serious. He was kind of playing around a little bit with Naruto and with Boruto, not necessarily with Sasuke. It seemed like he was actually mad at Sasuke for some reason. I have absolutely no idea. But in this particular episode right here, I think Isshiki Otsutsuki is going to be 100% on his game, because Naruto, this man looks absolutely insane, bro. But without further ado, let me stop babbling. Let's get into the actual preview so we can see what exactly they got in store for us in this particular episode right here, dogs. Yo, just look at my man Naruto walk, bro. I don't know if I'm just a super fan or a super stan, bro. Just look at Naruto walk real quick, bro. Nigga, tell me that's not iconic, bro. Look at my man, it's Naruto, man. It's so inspirational. Yo, my man Sasuke said, I never knew he had such a jutsu. Hold on, I gotta pause it at the point. Sasuke says, I never knew he had such a jutsu. It's a couple of things that I took away from this statement. First things first, if you guys don't necessarily know what Dragon Ball Z is, I'm pretty sure everybody here knows what Dragon Ball Z is. If you guys haven't necessarily seen Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta, which is like the side character or the rival to the main character Goku, there was a situation like this, and at that particular point, Vegeta was kind of mad at Goku because in their 1v1, Goku didn't go 100% all out. And I think Sasuke possibly has a reaction like this, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. What Sasuke could possibly be thinking right now is that Naruto could have used the Baryon mode versus him and completely shut everything down right then and there. He could have literally killed Sasuke in that battle, but that right there wasn't the case. But here's where I think is more likely. Sasuke's thing that they both have a sort of, I should say, trump card that he didn't necessarily know that Naruto was going to use at this particular point, mainly because it could result in his death. Right here, Naruto, you're not planning on this. Right here kind of makes it seem that Sasuke is understanding that Naruto is using his trump card, his last resort, his do or die, his quote-unquote 8 gates transformation right now. Now, even if that's the case, that right there isn't necessarily that interesting. The interesting part comes into where Sasuke thinks, or he's actually speaking as of right now, as if he didn't necessarily have to do something like this, which kind of makes me think that Sasuke potentially has a jutsu like this. What we understand is that, or what we have been told throughout pretty much all the whole entire series, all the elite ninjas, they have a trump card. We know damn near all of Sasuke's moves as of right now, but we don't really know if Sasuke himself has a trump card similar to like a Baryon mode or like an 8 gates or something like that. And I really wish eventually we can find out if Sasuke does, eventually have something like that. Even if Sasuke has the actual 8 gates transformation, it'll be better than nothing. I think that right there would definitely be something very cool for us to actually dive into later on in this series of Boruto. Because Sasuke right now being this calm, that right there makes me completely confused. Again, that right there possibly tells me that Sasuke knows in his heart that he has a trump card that he could have played at this particular point, and him basically looking at Naruto and saying, yo, you're not planning on doing this right now. Like, it makes me think that Sasuke in his mind thinks that it's too early to be pulling out their trump cards. But let's continue on. How could he still have such an ace up his sleeve? Isshiki Otsutsuki is shaking in his boots. I couldn't possibly imagine what Isshiki Otsutsuki is feeling right now. You spend 28 minutes of an episode completely trashing one guy, then all of a sudden he gets back up and he gets a power boost, and now he's squaring up with you, bro. It's gotta be different. My goodness. Yo, I want to know if the actual power gap is that vast. Like, is Naruto gonna be beating on Isshiki Otsutsuki throughout this whole episode? I talked about this in depth in my review, how obviously we're going to get to see exactly how strong Baryon Naruto is in comparison to Isshiki Otsutsuki. That's who we're going to be comparing Naruto to. Obviously, if he's even equal to Isshiki Otsutsuki, we know that Baryon Naruto is essentially the strongest character that we've ever seen in the whole entire series. But if he's like beating Isshiki around, like, I don't know, bro. Even still, I'll be the one who wins. Yo, Isshiki Otsutsuki looking like he's scrugged, bro. I don't know. Bro, look at my man's Naruto walk, bro. I can't be the only person that's thinking that this right here is this iconic, bro. This man Boruto is completely going. He on the floor thinking he's hallucinating, bro. In his mind, he probably thinking he already dead. Let's keep it a G. Yo, is that Sasuke right here? Yo, that's Sasuke's leg, bro. He still got that hole from the rods that Isshiki Otsutsuki put in his leg. That's crazy. Yup, that's him. Bruh, they did not have to put Sasuke right there, bruh. They just reminded us how dirty Isshiki Otsutsuki did my man Sasuke, bruh. Yo, he really had a personal problem with Sasuke, dog. Hey, you can't tell me no different. Like, listen to my man's Naruto's voice, bro. Let me replay that so you guys can hear it. Yo, this man sounds different, bruh. Like, even the OST behind him when he was first introduced, it just sounded godly, and his voice matches that. Now, I kind of thought his voice would be a little bit different, because obviously when the Boruto mangas, we don't necessarily know the voice, we don't necessarily know anything about it in regards to actual live action things. But I thought it would kind of be similar to how Boroshiki's voice was, where Boroshiki's voice is a mixture between Boruto's voice and Momoshiki's voice. Now, obviously, we don't necessarily know exactly how that right there can sound, Naruto's voice plus Kurama's voice, but I personally believe that this right here still sounds really, really good. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Like, look at my man's Isshiki Otsutsuki's face right here, dog. This man right here is absolutely serious. In the last episode, again, we kind of had the feeling that Isshiki Otsutsuki wasn't necessarily going 100% all out. This man right here, he's dead serious. He is dead serious versus this man Naruto. I think Isshiki Otsutsuki understands. He needs to do something completely different to Naruto, because I think from what we see in the preview already, it's not necessarily looking like Taijutsu is going to get it done versus a character like Baryon Naruto. It just seems that Baryon Naruto might be stronger and faster, which kind of leads me to believe, or kind of makes me believe, that Isshiki Otsutsuki might pull out a different ability that we haven't necessarily seen in the previous episodes, not even just from Isshiki Otsutsuki, but from Jigen as well. Now, hopefully that's going to be the case. The Boruto manga readers, we know exactly what happens. I really hope that, just like in the last episode, the anime is going to be very different from the chapter that I did adapt. Now, that right there is not necessarily set in stone. This is just what I personally want to see. I really, really hope that they have Isshiki Otsutsuki do something completely different to actually rival a mode like this, rival a mode like Baryon Naruto. I'm like, damn, look, my man's Naruto. Damn, bro, look. Yo, he just speed blitz Isshiki Otsutsuki. Ox, peep the speed blitz. Peep the speed blitz. My goodness. My goodness. Again, this episode right here is going to be completely different. This episode right here, my personal opinion, has to be better than Boruto episode 216. I don't know how it's going to be that, mainly because episode 216 was different. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. One thing that I can confidently say, the preview of episode 217 looks a lot better than the preview of episode 216. We've seen a lot more animations. It looks a lot prettier. This right here is essentially confirming to us that the animation is going to be smooth. Like, it's not even close. Like, the animation is going to look very, very smooth. Now, of course, I'm going to make a video talking about the staff behind Boruto episode 217. I took a sneak peek of it, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and it looked really good. Hopefully, when I actually do take a deep dive into it, I can give you guys an accurate description of how it's probably going to look. In the last episode, I gave you guys an idea. I think I said Boruto episode 186 would possibly be a very good indication of the animation. I don't even know, like 216, the animation wasn't necessarily like Boruto episode 65, but I think it was better than 186. But let me know what you guys think about this preview in the comment section below, and what do you guys think about how it's going to actually look in the next episode. But it's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.